Hi, my name is Toby Pierce, and I'd like to share a devotional thought with you today. There's a congregation up in South Fork, Colorado, that my wife and I like to visit. We were there over this past Labor Day weekend, and got to hear an excellent lesson by Nathan Wheeler. And my thoughts for today's devotional really stem from pieces of that lesson. We were studying in Gospel of John, chapter 4, and beginning in verse 46. It says, So Jesus came again to Cana of Galilee, where he had made the water wine, and there was a certain nobleman whose son was sick at Capernaum. When he heard that Jesus had come out of Judea into Galilee, he went to him and implored him to come down and heal his son, for he was at the point of death. Then Jesus said to him, Unless you people see signs and wonders, you will by no means believe. The nobleman said to him, Sir, come before my child dies. So Jesus said to him, Go your way, your son lives. So the man believed the word that Jesus spoke to him, and he went his way. And as he was now going down, his servants met him and told him, saying, Your son lives. Then he inquired of them the hour when he got better, and they said to him, Yesterday, about the 7th hour, the fever left him. So the father knew it was at the same hour in which Jesus said to him, Your son lives. And he himself believed, and his whole household. The nobleman had said, Come before my child dies. How often have you thought, if Jesus was only here, everything would be okay? In John 11, when we read about Jesus' friend Lazarus that died, and Jesus delays before going there, and by the time he gets there, Lazarus has been dead for 4 days, and he's talking with Lazarus's sister Mary. With Martha, in verse 21. And it says, Now Martha said to Jesus, Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died. Oh, if Jesus was only here. Sometimes Jesus physically went to help people. In Matthew 9:19-25, where he raised a man's daughter, he had gone with him at that point. But in life or in death, Jesus is right there. God is right there. In Acts 17:27, verses 27 and 28, we read, speaking of God, he is not far from each one of us, for in him we live and move and have our being. You cannot be where God is not. Indeed, the psalmist wrote in Psalm 139, beginning in verse 7, Where shall I go from your spirit, or where shall I flee from your presence? If I ascend to heaven, you are there. If I make my bed in Sheol, you are there. If I take wings of the morning and dwell in the uttermost parts of the sea, even there your hand shall lead me, and your right hand shall hold me. And Jesus told us, it's written down for us, told his disciples there in Matthew 28 and verse 20, I am with you always. And so in the account of John 4, where Jesus heals the man's son, Jesus is not only wanting to help out, but he wanted to teach us that he's not distant. He is always there. He can not only see the side of life that we see, but he can see the eternal side of life. And he's taking care of our loved one over there. When death strikes a loved one, then They might seem distant from us, but they're still with Jesus. And Jesus has made sure that their suffering has gone away. They're not suffering anymore. They're in a place of comfort, and they're experiencing really great bliss. He's wiped away their tears and ushered them into a place filled with wonders. And they are before the very throne of God. I hope you find comfort in knowing that Jesus is with you and Jesus is with your loved one. And I hope you have a blessed day.
If you would like more information, or if you'd like to participate in our Bible studies and worship services, we would love to have you come join us at the Northeast Church of Christ in Albuquerque, New Mexico.